Okay, so I'm back. As you see, what I did is I zoomed in on my screen. Yes, on my screen. I tried to center it. I fucked around with it a little bit for height and also for width. Now, important tip for everyone. When you're ready to record, if at all possible, you want to turn on any ambient lighting. So, for example, up here in the upper left-hand corner, you see how it kind of looks a little reddish? And you're like, gee, I wonder why it looks like that. Well, I'm going to show you. Watch. It's because I had my lamp on. So my lamp was adding lighting to my screen that was basically distorting the quality of my video. So I'm also going to go ahead and turn off my other lamp. So this is pretty much the ideal setting for making a video. You're in a dark room. You have a camera that's able to be on some kind of a tripod or some kind of an adjustment that it aims straight forward. Nothing's going to move that camera unless you accidentally touch the tripod yourself. I'm actually sitting on my couch right behind it, so I'm able to, when I play the game, I'm able to sit right next to it, or not really sit right next to it, but sit right behind it, talk at the screen. That's what I really do. I don't talk to the camera, I talk at the TV screen, and because my camera is basically between me and the TV screen, it picks up all of my commentary. Oh, excuse me. Now, a lot of people say, Phil, why are you going through all this trouble? Well, you look what you just did. You bought a camera, you bought a tripod, you fucked around with it, you adjusted it 100 times. Why don't you just do direct feed? And I've addressed this 1,000 times before, but I'm going to officially put it now in a video series that people can look it up and get the answer. The answer is this. Because it's a hell of a lot easier for me to just sit here and give my live reactions to what's going on the screen than it is to do direct feed, to do some kind of a microphone feed, to somehow put those two things into a video editor later, to sync the audio with the video. I mean, it's such an amazing undertaking to do that. You don't even understand. Even if it was simple, it would take just as long as it took me to record the videos to encode them. Now think about that. A game like Mass Effect 2, it took me 36 hours to beat the game. Do you really think I want to spend 36 hours playing, 36 hours encoding, and then again have to upload the videos? You know how long it would take me? I'd be behind the 8 ball. I'd be 2 games behind every new release. So there's no way I could do that. And in addition to that, I really feel that the reason that people like my videos is not only because it's, high quality video, because it's good gameplay of games that they want to see, but it's my honest reactions to a new game. And a lot of people say, all right, I don't have a lot of money, okay, I'm not 28 years old like Phil. I don't have a full-time job. I don't have enough money to buy my own place. I could buy one game this quarter or whatever, and I want to decide what game is the best game this quarter. Well, what people do is they watch my videos, they hear my honest reactions to the games as I play them live, and they say, wow, he really enjoyed that game, or wow, that game had some boring parts, or wow, maybe I don't like the gameplay that much, but the story was really good, I'm still going to buy that game, or vice versa. Maybe people see that I'm frustrated with the game, but they like what they see, they'll still go buy the game. A lot of people, and I can't tell you how many people have contacted me and said, Phil, thank you so much, because either number one, there was a game that was a real stinker, but no one was really talking about the game, so I didn't know that, and I would have went out and bought it and wasted my money on it. But on the flip side, just as many people have said, Phil, thank you so much, because there was a game that I didn't hear much about it. I watched you play it, and I heard your live commentary, and now I think the game's great, and I'm going to go out and buy it, and I did buy it because of you. So that's what really makes my videos unique. If I were to do direct feed like everyone else on the planet, and I'm going to throw out a name there, so please forgive me, but like anyone on Machinima, all those people fucking do, they do direct feed, and then later on, they run it through a video editor, and then they do commentary over it later on. It's not live commentary, it's their reactions or their review of what they've already done. It's not genuine. What it is it's contrived, it's practiced, it's not right. It's not what I do. What I do is unique, and that's why, people say, oh, Machinima, I don't give a fuck about Machinima, alright? You can offer me whatever kind of contract you want. That's not what I am. I'm not going to just fall into the mold. And that's why when you go on Machinima, you see 500,000 Modern Warfare 2 videos and nothing else, because none of them have any fucking originality or talent, and I do. So tough shit. Anyway, I got off the subject a little bit there, but the reason that I do the live commentary is because that's what I'm all about. Average gamers, live reactions to what's going on in a game, and their honest feelings. And, you know, yes, I'm kind of a joker too. I make jokes and things while I make the videos. So, you know, a lot of people like that, especially for certain games like Heavy Rain. A lot of people said, wow, you know, you made that game 20 times more interesting than it would have been if you didn't comment on it. So anyway, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into a game. It's probably going to take forever to load because it's Heavy Rain. But what you're going to see is there's different adjustments and things you can do once you're actually in a game to make it look better on your screen. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Waiting, waiting, waiting. If you have a history of epilepsy or seizures, you're fucked because you're never going to get to play video games. So we'll skip through all this, blah, blah, blah. Come on. Yeah, Quantic dicks. I already said that. Yeah. Never, here's a good tip. Never adjust your camera for the title screen, because typically the title screen doesn't reflect the gameplay. So here you go. We can go ahead and mute out the sound so that we can talk a little bit here. So here's the title screen of Heavy Rain, and the first thing that I did when I started playing this game, if you watched my playthrough, I went into options, I went into gamma tuning, and you're going to want to mess with the gamma of whatever game you're playing, okay? It all depends. Now, some games you're going to find for some reason, like if it's a game that's a lot in the dark, like one of these FPS games where you're in like a dark area like Doom or something like that, Doom 3, those games are very, very dark all the time, and so they usually give you a gamma option to really pump up the gamma, especially if you have a TV that doesn't adjust very well. Some games don't give you many gamma options at all, which I think is bullshit, but what can you do? Typically what I do is I go into a menu, and right now, let me give you an example. It says, please adjust the brightness slider until the origami is barely visible. Well, let me put it to you this way. On my screen, alright, my TV, the origami is barely visible right now. I can barely see it. Now, on the camera here, it is slightly barely visible. But the problem is, this camera is assuming that you're in real life. This isn't a digital screen. It thinks that this is like you're looking down a real wet alley. So what it's going to do is, when you get to brighter scenes, it's not going to adjust properly. When you get to darker scenes, it's not going to adjust properly. What you need to do is to up the brightness to a level where you can pretty much see everything almost all the time. So for me, if I were going to play this game, I'd probably start at about this level right here. And because as you can see now, everything's visible on the screen. Sure, there are some washed out areas. You're never really going to get around that. But for the most part, I've done this in every game that I've done in 2010. I've upped the brightness or the gamma like I just did, and I've had some success. Now also, don't forget that whatever TV that you have, you're going to have brightness adjustments. So here's my menu on my TV. As you can see, there's different adjustments. You've got your picture mode where you can manually select things. You've got your color temperature where you can go from a bluer to a middle to a redder. See how much redder that got? To a user defined. I mean, you could do whatever you want with this. Are any of them look any better? It's all in the eye of the beholder. Some people think that it's amazing. Some people think it sucks dick. Other TVs are going to have these ridiculous like adjustment features like XD. I don't even know what the hell XD is. I screwed with it for like a year and I still don't know what it is. Different black levels, different TVs might allow you to adjust your black level. So you see my TV actually gives you two levels, high or low. So I can have it extremely bright right off the bat, or I can make it low, which low is honestly kind of better. I'd rather have the game adjust rather than anything else. The other thing about TVs that I find, sometimes you see something like this, a TV has different options, 16:9, zoom 1 to zoom 2, and just scan. Look what it does to your picture, like 16:9, right? Just scan seems to be a little bit different. Now, I'm not kidding, take a look. Here's just scan, here's 16:9. 16:9 seems to be zooming in a little bit more than just scan. All in all, every game's different, and I found this for a fact. Whatever game you're playing, some games use just scan right, and like this, they'll actually give you a little bit more screen to work with. Other games don't work properly, and you'll end up with a border. Yes, I've played games that were supposed to be widescreen, and I had a black border at the top and the bottom when I put it on just scan, or the aspect ratio was wrong. So like the people would look way too tall or way too wide, because these games still don't have a standard that they use. If you can believe it, here we are 2010, they still don't know how to make a standard. So for the most part, I usually play games in 16:9, even though Just Scan sometimes can be a little bit better. In this case, what I'm seeing is it looks like 16:9 actually stretches the screen a little bit, and Just Scan looks like it's perfectly centered. So I'm actually for now going to leave it on Just Scan and see for other games that I play how it works out. But I guarantee I'm going to run into a game where it looks horrible and I'm going to end up having to screw with it again. But there are other things, like there's a brightness button on here. Here's my brightness settings, see? So even on my TV, there are different brightness settings that you can set if your game doesn't seem to have enough adjustment like you want. So the option is still there. Usually I just leave my TV on medium and I let the game take care of the adjustment. I might even just up it one here. But there are so many different things you can do, and every game is different. Again, you're going to have to fuck with it for every single game in order to get it right.